and presented at the 2012 London Summer Games. Did you? Wow. Smithsonian, the Library of Congress, Poets House, the Singapore Writers Festival, and more. In October 2024, he was inducted into the Saline Area Schools Hall of Fame. Everyone, please welcome Bryan Thao Worra.
Well, Sabaidi, as we say in the Lao language, and thank you all so much for coming out on a Monday here. I almost feel like Garfield the cat here in the sense of Monday. That being said, let me do a quick temperature check in the room. How many of you have ever heard a Lao poet present before? Wow, okay, that's about what I would expect here. So without going into too much preface here, this year is particularly significant for our community in that it is the 50th anniversary since the end of the Vietnam War and by extension the other Southeast Asian conflicts in Cambodia and Laos. And as so many of us rebuild our lives after 50 years in diaspora, the question is for us, what does it mean to make the transition from a monarchy to a colony to a monarchy to a democracy? And that's not always as set a question as you may well imagine. But to that end, then, I'm going to present to you a few of the poems that were presented with the Coolidge Wagner Anthology of Recorded Poetry. And please, let me also extend my deep thanks to the organizers and the visionaries who've made this project possible. If you ever get a chance to support them, I wholeheartedly encourage it. But this is the poem at the London 2012 Summer Games in the Year of the Dragon, entitled On a Stairway in Luang Prabang. On a stairway in Luang Prabang, step as you will through life, 1,000 ways, 1,000 places. Carry a home in your heart or spend years seeking the doors where your soul will always smile. Do you ease the way for others or just yourself? Do you climb great mountains just to leave them unchanged? One day, the heights of a holy mountain will see will lay soft valleys, and we, only memories, but our children's children, will they too have a reason to smile, like those dreaming strangers who built their stairs for us. Some of us are haiku fans, so this was the complementary poem that goes with that. The grass. Among jade grass blades, even mighty Bodhi trees must share the same earth. It's almost spooky season, so let's go into a discussion of monsters. In America, monsters arrive through Ellis Island or Angel Island, or from the stars, or morning's rogue angels. In Asia, ghosts hop, hair long, eyes black, and young girls from Taiwan will squeal in terror at that lonely world, but laugh with disdain at Hollywood's soulless piles of pixels and latex signifying obsolete demons. Jaganai, or heart of a big chicken. Though my heart is a dinosaur, and you but a cold meteor, fly as you will through my atmosphere, I will return in my own way. Perhaps as poultry, perhaps a gallon of diesel, some polished paperweight, or mixed in the concrete dragon in a temple for 1,000 souls who will have to return many times because they couldn't let go without regret. And finally, Democracia. Father was a tiger, ground beneath the wheels, His fat was burned to light a torch, but there's no liberty here. Only the ashes of a village that couldn't evolve, where ghost grandchildren play with ghost grandparents, and the parents are nowhere to be seen at all. Where have they gone? Where have they gone? A delay of a day for an idea. A delay of a lifetime for the dead upon the ground. Look what remains. This hut hasn't the ambition of King Ozymandias. This ox was no man's enemy. This crater was once a rice field. And what we have left to say could explode any minute. And I see I have a couple of minutes left, so we'll try a couple of new pieces. Ghosts. Uncle Bryan, aren't you ever sad it's easier for you to write about old ghosts than your own family, my niece said one day in Ceres, California. 20 years after I'd found them again, 45 years after our secret war, in a country so different, my mother doesn't recognize one single place from her old neighborhood she left decades ago we had no words for, compared to the variety of ghosts, spirits, malign and otherwise, bright and mad, who've walked here something short of one more drifting eternity among 1,000 underworlds hungry for memories. I buy her some sushi on her birthday, something called a spicy Godzilla roll, a few hours before midnight, with a pinky promise not to turn this into another poem in America. Totally not based on a true story. I suspect my dog ate my camera remote, the cheap one from that Everything Besides Good Books company. It was shortly after the new poem I wrote, following some somewhat logical thinking, well, this may be pure fantasy. She smiles, tail wagging by my note, while I gaze at her furry belly, expecting new photos to show up now, quite randomly, of her park. Strange curves, bad angles of a boat, ghosts she barks at, old Lao dog memories, perhaps far superior to my own, really. At least until the important bits come out, when a poet doesn't expect it. 2 more. Witnessing. At any given moment, I have 10,000 wars in my head. Some just a memory, some less so. Some coming soon, some meant just for me. Some will be forever secret. Some were meant for only you. Some we cannot whisper of, and some we share between drinks we dare never mention, between our public histories. Some I chose because of roots. Some just needed a place to stay. Some were for a righteous cause. Some were fool's crusades. Some required a legion of strangers. Others, just a homegrown child. Beneath these vast stars aflame, I have but a few moments left for all of this. At most, 1 mere century more. Tomorrow might be very different, assuming we don't come back again if we learn our lessons. Some hard as foreign tombstones and April ash, some less so. And finally, once again, because it is almost spooky season and we have a new show apparently running around on TV that kind of gives us the sense that all of our old stories always have a way of coming back again. This one is called Sympathy for the Xenomorph. Some of you know it. To survive, adapt, but you will not recognize your children half human. 2. Like eggs, long waiting, first come the miners, traders who hate us inside. They trample our home. Everyone wants to leave. Mothers watch us burn. Just dumb animals. How they hate our food, our ways of becoming one. Nuke us from orbit, the only way to be sure. My, such charming hicks. You hate how we kiss. Bring us back your new weapons? No, let us stay here. Wake us from your sleep. Who is the true alien? Welcome to our home. I'm Bryan Thao Worra. My new book coming out is American Laodyssey, not quite really from the press yet, but later on, so keep an eye for it. But again,